Welcome to Comics Conversation, where I do my best to guide new Flash comic book readers through the sometimes confusing Flash reading order. This is a part 2 video of the 2-part series going over the Flash run by Joshua Williamson, and a link to the first video will be in the description below. I do want to mention that the next 3 videos that will be released will be the Flash reading order series, which will go over the chronological order of all of the Flash books that have been collected so far, as well as the DC crossover events. This is a slight spoiler, but to understand what happens at the end of Volume 10, I do need to say that at the end of Volume 8, Wally goes to Sanctuary, and I will go more into this in the Flash reading order series. In Volume 8, there was this intense battle between the Flashes and this character, and there were side effects from this battle. And just like how the Speed Force is a part of the multiverse, they broke open this force barrier, and this brought 3 new forces to the multiverse. In this book, Barry does consult the other Flashes from the different multiverse worlds, and they all tell him that there has only been the Speed Force and no other forces. And even though they have not felt the effects of the new forces, since the Speed Force surrounds the entire multiverse, as depicted in this photo, the other forces would do so as well. This means that Earth 1 is the only Earth that is affected by these forces. The rest of these issues in this book explore the different powers the forces have, and by the end of the book, Barry and Iris plan to go on a quest to learn about the new forces. In this book, Barry and Iris start their force quest, and one of their first stops is Gorilla City, a city with its inhabitants as intelligent gorillas. As was learned from the previous stories of the Flash, this civilization has always studied the Speed Force, and once Barry and Iris arrive to Gorilla City, they learn that these new forces have an effect on the Speed Force, and I will leave this for you to learn whether this has a positive or negative effect on the Speed Force. After their stop at Gorilla City, Barry and Iris go off to find the other Force users. In Volume 8, I mentioned that Wally left to go to Sanctuary, and at the end of the book, Barry was informed that something happened to Wally at Sanctuary. This is where the DC event Heroes in Crisis should be read, and in the reading order videos, I will go over which other books should be read with this event. At the beginning of this book, we learn about what happened to Wally and how the other characters are dealing with it. And really the rest of the Flash issues in this book are about one of the Flash's villains planning on pulling the greatest trick on the Flash. By the end of the book, we are introduced to the third and final Force user, and he says that he has to help Barry remember something about his past that he has forgotten. In this story, we learn more about the modern origin story of the Flash, and the reason why I say modern origin story is because with all the DC events rewriting the DC universe, this is the origin story that is the most up to date. In this book, we learn about how Barry and Iris became better friends, as well as the Flash going up against his first villain, and how he met Wally and Wallace West. And I will go over the difference of the characters in the second Flash reading order video. This book is about how the Speed Force is acting out due to the effects from the new forces. Also in this volume, the same villain that appeared in Volume 8 returns again to gain ultimate power. Now I have not read the story yet, since I am waiting for the book to be released, but one thing that happens at the end of the book most likely leads into the 15th and final volume of the Flash run by Joshua Williamson. Another thing that happened at the end of Volume 12 is that the Rogues came up with another plan to gain control of Central City, and this time it worked. I will leave this for you to learn about what happened, but one thing at the end of Volume 12 caused the Flashes to have a difficult time using their powers, and this is what helped the Rogues have the upper hand. I will leave it to you to find out what the Flash does to try and stop the Rogues, but at the end, Barry is told by someone that he has to watch out for this thing they created. I am waiting for Volume 14 to arrive, and I do not know what the book is about, but the character that was introduced at the end of Volume 8 makes their full appearance in this volume. This final volume of the Flash run by Joshua Williamson will be released in September of this year. And again, I do not know what happens in this book, but based on the cover art, I can assume that Barry is going up against his greatest villain. Now that will do it for this video, and I hope this video has helped you in any way, and I hope you stay tuned for the Flash reading order 3-part series. Thank you for watching.